Hello guys and welcome to 1000 World War II ASMR Facts. This is chapter 4. In this chapter we are going to talk about the Eastern Front. One of my favorites. Favorite topics, obviously. In this episode we will cover Operation Barbarossa, Battle for Moscow, winter as an enemy, Stalingrad, obviously, and also partisans in Belarus, Ukraine, and Yugoslavia. So, without further ado, let's just get into the facts. Starting with fact number 301. Operation Barbarossa began on June the 22nd in 1941 as Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union. Fact number 302. It involved over 3 million Axis soldiers along a front that stretched more than 2,900 kilometers. I don't know how many miles that is. 1 kilometer is 1.6 miles, so yeah. But I'm not that good at math. Fact number 303. Hitler believed the USSR would collapse in weeks. He was gravely mistaken. Hitler is not the strategical genius you think he is. Some people, they have this idea that he is, but he was oftentimes more lucky than anything else. But moving on. Fact number 4. He was lucky up until the point he wasn't lucky anymore. But fact number 304. The invasion violated the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, a non-aggression treaty between Germany and the USSR. That, by the way, shocked the entire world back then. Moving on. Fact number 305. German forces used blitzkrieg tactics, but were slowed down by logistics and, obviously, Russian resistance. Fact number 306. Soviet scorched earth tactics destroyed infrastructure during retreats, which means they would burn everything so that the conquering army had no resources anymore. Moving on to fact number 307. Stalin was initially paralyzed by shock, speaking publicly only days later. It is said that he had a full-on panic attack when Hitler invaded the USSR. Moving on to fact number 308. Soviet civilians joined the war effort en masse, building defenses and supplying troops. Moving on to fact number 309. The Battle of Smolensk in July 1941 delayed the German advance. Moving on to fact number 310. Thousands of Soviet POWs were executed or died in camps. Moving on to fact number 311. The Wehrmacht captured huge areas of Ukraine and Belarus in the early months of Operation Barbarossa. Moving on to fact number 312. German supply lines became overstretched by autumn. Moving on to fact number 313. By October, Hitler launched Operation Typhoon, the assault on Moscow. Fact number 314. The Battle of Moscow marked the first major German defeat on land. Fact number 315. Temperatures dropped to minus 30 degrees Celsius during the winter of 1941-1942. Moving on to fact number 316. German tanks and guns froze. Soldiers lacked proper winter clothing. Moving on to fact number 317. Soviet T-34 tanks outperformed German vehicles in snow and mud. Probably because they were a lot lighter, but I'm not sure. Fact number 318. Soviet counter-offensives pushed the Germans back from Moscow in December 1941. Moving on to fact number 319. Soviet morale surged as Moscow was saved. Moving on to fact number 320. The Eastern Front became the largest and bloodiest theater of World War II. Moving Belarus sabotaged railways and supply routes. Fact number 322. In Ukraine, local support from the Germans initially existed but turned hostile due to brutal occupation. Moving on to fact number 323. Entire villages were burned in retaliation for partisan attacks. Fact number 324. The siege of Leningrad lasted 872 days, causing famine and over 1 million deaths. Moving on to fact number 325. Civilians in Leningrad resorted to eating glue, wallpaper paste, and stray animals. Moving on to fact number 326. Stalin's order number 227, not one step back, led to deadly penal battalions. Fact number 327. In 1942, Hitler turned his focus south towards Stalingrad and the Caucasus oil fields. Fact number 328. The Battle of Stalingrad began in August 1942 and lasted until February 1943. Fact number 329. It featured brutal house-to-house fighting and massive air combats. Some buildings took months to take, and they would literally fight one building by one building, so it was, yeah. Moving on to fact number 330. Soviet snipers like Vasily Zaitsev became legendary. I might have to do a video on him one time. Moving on to fact number 331. Over 2 million total casualties occurred in the Stalingrad campaign. Moving on to fact number 332. The city was reduced to rubble but never fell. Moving on to fact number 333. Operation Uranus encircled the German 6th Army in November 1942. Fact number 334. Hitler forbade retreat, sealing their fate. Fact number 335. Field Marshal Paulus surrendered in February 1943, defying Hitler's orders. Fact number 336. It was a turning point, the first major German surrender. Fact number 337. After Stalingrad, the Soviets began a relentless westward push. Fact number 338. Soviet industry relocated eastward beyond the Urals, producing tanks and weapons. Fact number 339. Women made up a large part of Soviet war labor and even combat roles. Fact number 340. The Soviets fielded entire units of female snipers and fighter pilots. Fact number 341. In Ukraine, nationalist resistance movements clashed with both Nazis and Soviets. Fact number 342. The forested terrain of Belarus and Ukraine helped partisans hide. Fact number 343. Soviet partisans used ambushes, rail sabotage, and propaganda. Fact number 344. German anti-partisan sweeps often resulted in mass civilian killings. Fact number 345. Yugoslav partisans fought fiercely under Tito, gaining Allied support. Fact number 46. 346. They liberated the territory independently before Soviet arrival. Fact number 347. German divisions tied down in Yugoslavia weakened efforts on other fronts. Fact number 348. The Warsaw Ghetto uprising in 1943 symbolized Jewish resistance. Fact number 349. Soviet forces liberated Minsk in 1944, cutting off Germany's army group center. Fact number 350. Operation Bagration in June 1944 was one of the largest offensives in history. Fact number 351. It destroyed much of the German army group center in Belarus. Fact number 352. The Soviet advanced over 600 kilometers in just a few weeks. Fact number 353. By 1945, the Red Army was closing in on Berlin. Fact number 354. Soviet troops endured massive losses with over 8 million military deaths. Fact number 355. The total Soviet death tolls, including civilians, exceeded 25 million. Fact number 356. Red Army soldiers left graffiti on the walls of the Reichstag in Berlin. Fact number 257. Berlin fell in May 1945 after brutal street fighting. Fact number 358. Hitler committed suicide on April 30th, 1945 as Soviet troops entered the city. Fact number 259. Soviet troops raised their flag over the Reichstag on May 2nd, 1945. Fact number 360. The Eastern Front legacy shaped post-war Europe for generations, and still does. Fact number 361. Entire Soviet cities were relocated eastward to avoid destruction. Fact number 362. German generals underestimated Soviets' resilience and manpower. Fact number 363. The Red Army utilized massed artillery barrage to crush German positions. Fact number 364. Ice and snow made aircraft maintenance nearly impossible in winter times. Fact number 365. German morale declined rapidly after repeated winter setbacks. Fact number 366. Soviet railway workers often rebuilt destroyed lines within days. Fact number 367. Stalin's purge had weakened officer corps before the war. Fact number 368. German troops called the Eastern Front the meat grinder. Fact number 369. Soviet war memorials still dominate Eastern European cities today. Fact number 370. Many Eastern Front battles were decided by attrition, not tactics. Fact number 371. Starvation and exposure killed thousands on both sides. Fact number 372. Soviet tank factories operated around the clock under camouflage netting. Fact number 373. The Red Army learned fast, shifting from chaos in 1941 to coordinated offensives by 1943. Fact number 374. Horses remained vital for logistics throughout the entire war. Fact number 375. German Tiger tanks were powerful but often bogged down or broke in winter. Fact number 376. Soviet propaganda portrayed Germans as barbaric invaders. Well, they might have been right there. Fact number 377. Millions of Soviet citizens were deported to labor camps by the Nazis. Fact number 378. The Eastern Front displaced over 30 million civilians. Fact number 379. Cities like Kharkiv changed hands multiple times. Fact number 380. Soviet Air Force became dominant by late 44. Fact number 381. Stalin's personality permitted. Stalin's personally directed many major offensives. Fact number 382. The Red Army employed shock armies for breakthrough operations. Fact number 383. Trench foot and frostbite were rampant in winter campaigns. Fact number 384. Stalin distrusted his Western allies and pushed to reach Berlin first. Fact number 385. The front included brutal fighting in forests, swamps and cities. Fact number 86. Civilians often dug trenches and built defenses under fire. Fact number 387. The Soviet secret police executed deserters on the spot. Fact number 388. Some Soviet troops were former Gulag prisoners given a second chance. Fact number 389. Red Army soldiers sometimes slept in snowbanks for days. Fact number 390. Captured German soldiers were interrogated harshly by Soviet officers. Fact number 391. The Soviets used Katyushka rocket launchers to devastating effects. Fact number 392. Partisans assassinated Nazi collaborators in occupied towns. Fact number 392. Soviet forces destroyed retreating German infrastructure. Fact number 394. Entire forests were set on fire to deny enemy cover. Fact number 395. Propaganda leaflets were dropped by planes to sway morale. Fact number 396. Axis allies like Romania and Hungary suffered heavy losses. Fact number 297. Civilians created underground schools and hospitals. Fact number 298. By 1944, Germany was conscripting old men and boys to defend the front. Fact number 399. Some German soldiers froze to death overnight without proper gear. Fact number 400. The Eastern Front reshaped borders, governments, and ideologies across Europe. So this was chapter 4, the Eastern Front, and I'll catch you guys next week for chapter 5, where we will dive into resistance fighters, spies, and all kinds of secret agents and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in the next video next week. Bye.